Joe Biden has finally picked his running mate and maybe the next Vice President of the United States. Her name is Kamala Harris. So, who is she? Bit of background. She was born in October 1964 in Oakland, California. Her mother is of Indian descent and her father is of Jamaican descent. However, she identifies as African American, even though none of her parents actually come from Africa. When she was 12, she moved to Canada. She went to high school in Quebec, graduating in 1981. She then went to Howard University, where she studied political science and economics until 1986. She returned to California in 1989. She studied law and passed the bar exam and gained admission to the State Bar of California in 1990. Also in 1990, she was hired as a deputy DA in California. In 1994, her partner at the time appointed Harris to the State Unemployment Insurance Appeals Board and later the California Medical Assistance Commission. She took a leave of absence from her prosecutor job to serve in these positions. In 1998, she was recruited as assistant DA in San Francisco. Now, in 2003, she campaigned for the district attorney. Harris was found to be unintentionally violating the city's campaign finance laws and received a fine of $34,000 and corrective measures. She also had to buy newspaper ads telling the voters about her violation. So she's already got violations for basically fraud in US law. She accepted full blame and said leadership isn't about being perfect. Perfect leadership means taking responsibility. Well, bit of a clickbait quote there, but there you go. In 2011, she then became Attorney General until 2017. She was then elected to the US Senate and fought Donald Trump on his so-named Muslim travel ban and other issues. In 2020, she did campaign to be the Democratic nomination for president. She attacked Joe Biden on his political career, and in a second debate, Harris was also attacked by Tulsi Gabbard on her record as Attorney General. On December 3rd, 2019, she ended her campaign saying a lack of funds was the reason. She has now been chosen, as we've said, to be Joe Biden's running mate in the 2020 election. Now, she does have a lot of socialist ideals. You can find her political information online, what she's voted for, things like that. She's not a big fan of the Second Amendment. And she also has lied quite a few times on certain issues. Now, what we're going to do now is play a notorious clip from The Breakfast Club in which she claimed to smoke marijuana to Snoop Dogg and Tupac, even though when she was in college, they haven't released any music. So we're just going to have a little look at that now.
So there are a lot of reasons why we need to legalize.
Have you ever smoked?
I have.
Okay. Like in
And
college,
I inhaled. I did inhale.
Okay.
It was a long time ago. But yes.
I know you have to go. They say you have to go. I just wanted to
I
ask
just broke news.
to go. So, what does Kamala Harris listen to?
What were you
What's your
listening to when
favorite-
you was high? What was on? What song was
Oh my goodness! Oh yeah, definitely Snoop. Tupac for
Tupac,
sure.
okay.
For
What do you
sure.
listen to now? What's your
There you go. So even she's smoked it in college and they didn't exist at the time as musicians, or she's lying and she smoked it when she was a DA, which means, wow, that was very illegal. Now, what she also said in the Breakfast Club interview is something in relation to how the black community feel about police. Now, before we delve into that a little bit more, I'm just going to play that clip for you now.
And let's not buy into the myth that black folks don't want law enforcement. We do. We don't want excessive force.
Mm-hmm.
We don't want racial profiling. But certainly if somebody burglarizes my house, I'm going to call the police, as are most of us, and say, come get this, you know what.
They don't even got to go that far. If I see him sitting in the cul-de-sac too long, I'm
I'll
calling.
call 911. What's your emergency?
Right. But all of
So as you can quite hear there from her, she said, yeah, we want police. If someone burglarizes my house, yeah, I'm going to call the police. Charlemagne even said, even if they're just standing around or waiting around the block, I'm going to call her, and they're having a good old laugh and giggle about it. That was before George Floyd. What we're going to do now is have a look at her opinion after George Floyd. Do you reckon that's changed? Let's have a look.
This guy, Donald Trump, who happens to right now be president of the United States, would throw tear gas at people who were peacefully protesting.
Peacefully protesting. God, the left are so hypocritical. Now, her narrative within 1 year has changed so much there that it's hard to really take anything that she says seriously. My 2 cents on this: if Joe Biden does win the election, this lady is going to be the actual person in control of the United States. Now, with a history of fraud that she's been fined for, with her multitude of lies, just a few examples that we put up there, and her changing narrative, would you trust this lady to run your country? Well, as this is a debate channel, leave your comments below. If you are new, please subscribe and let's debate this. That's just a brief history of who she is and a few examples of her being a bit of a hypocrite. I will see you next time, guys.